Good morning, good day, good afternoon, whatever time of the day you're listening. I'm, of course, recording this particular show in the morning. So, how awesome is that? I hope you guys have a wonderful day today. Um, so I've been up in the night a lot lately, which is like okay most of the time. I still do have points of view about it. I still prefer to like just go to sleep and then wake up and be done with it. So in the middle of the night, I do these wandering things. I'll do some EMDR if something's up or EFT or um and then I'll scroll through Facebook and then I'll find inspiring articles and then I'll maybe look at a book or something like that and then usually have a bath and then go back to bed. So that's usually what I end up choosing. I just have to open the window here, let some light in. So I've been reading this one book. It's called The 3 Things That Will Change Your Destiny Today. So this fella, Paul Mckenna, I can't remember how the heck I found him, but anyways, apparently he is a huge international speaker, bestseller, whatever guy from in the UK. And he does hypnosis and other things like that. So I had talked on previous shows about the havening technique that he likes to facilitate. He is I can't remember if it says that he's a psychotherapist. Oh, he's got a PhD anyways. So is he a psychotherapist or let's see here. I don't know if it says here, but he's helped millions of people. Apparently he's been on the Dr. Oz show, Good Morning America. Oh, he was on the Ellen DeGeneres show even. And he also he has, I don't know how many different books. I Can Make You Sleep, I Can Make You Thin, I Can Make You Happy, Freedom from Emotional Eating, and stuff like that. And this one really spoke to me after I'd first heard about him and the havening. Then it made me to sort of look into him a little bit more. So I got a couple of his books. Now, this one, so as I'm working through this book, like he says, it's actually it's like a practical book. You got to actually do the exercises in it while you're going through it. So he's got different steps throughout it, and one of them is havening to things that bug you, and then he's got other different visualizations and little hypnotic exercises that you actually download off the internet. And so when I was up in the middle of the night, I read this part, and he's talking about luck, how to get lucky, okay? Not how to get lucky as in get lucky, although if you want to get lucky and get lucky, you can certainly ask for that too. But the luck he's actually talking about is the people that seem to have an uncanny ability to be in the right place at the right time. So his friend, so I'll just read you this bit because it's just so cool. My friend Professor Richard Wiseman has been researching luck for more than a decade, and he has collected significant evidence that shows that lucky people meet their perfect partners, achieve their lifelong ambitions, find their fulfilling careers, and live happy and meaningful lives. Their success is not due to them working especially hard, being amazingly talented, or exceptionally intelligent. Instead, they simply appear to have an uncanny ability to be in the right place at the right time. The results of his research reveal that people are not born lucky. Instead, lucky people are often, without even realizing it, guided by their belief in themselves as lucky to think and behave in ways that create good fortune in their lives. Excuse me. Often they've been told that they are lucky from an early age, or that they experienced several positive events over a short period of time that left them with the feeling of being lucky or blessed. These experiences shape their internal filters for reality, and the belief in their own luck sets their mind up to seek opportunities and support them in rising to challenges. These positive internal filters lead to a new relaxed approach and an openness to new experiences. Lucky, and that's in quotations, people trust their intuition and gut feelings and are even more likely to meditate or apply other techniques to boost their already good fortune. Since they know in quotations, in their minds that they are fundamentally lucky. So you really get, it's a state of being. So like when Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about a state of being, it's like a state of being of just knowing that things work out for you, that, that you're lucky. Um, he said so since they know in their minds that they are fundamentally lucky, they look forward to the future because they assume it will be filled with good fortune. These assumptions become expectations, which turn become self-fulfilling prophecies. Isn't that interesting? Since people who now believe themselves to be lucky are optimistic about how things will turn out, they tend to be positive in their interactions with others and foster the very conditions that will make a positive outcome more likely. In the same way, because lucky people always expect things to turn out in their favor in the end, when ill fortune comes their way, they are automatically and naturally able to reframe it and ride things out until the tide turns back in their favor. This makes them appear to be remarkably resilient, even in the face of the kind of negative life events that all human beings run into from time to time. And you know what? When I read this last night, I was like, resilience, that's the word. So, in the last couple of shows, I was calling it like self-reliant or something. Resilience is the word I was looking for. That ability to be resilient, to bring yourself back to, whatever it is, like if you're having a negative, upsetting, disappointing, frustrating, uh, you know, moment or guilty or shame or angry or whatever, that you have the ability within to take yourself back to, to be able to reason, to be able to be resilient with it and go, this isn't the worst, just whatever you would tell yourself in any different situation, or whatever you think, like if it's hard for you to tell yourself that, what you would tell someone else if they were struggling through a difficult situation, what would you say to them, and allowing yourself to say that to yourself. So this is really neat, guys. Okay, it's an experiment that this guy did. So in one particularly interesting experience, Professor Wiseman asked subjects to flip through a newspaper and count the number of photographs inside of it. Unbeknownst to the subjects, after about 3 pages, there was a massive half-page ad that says, "Stop counting. There are 43 paragraphs in this newspaper." And in case they missed it, a few pages later, there was another massive ad that said, "Stop counting. Tell the experimenter that you've seen this and win £150. So keep in mind, again, this is in the UK, right? For the most part, people who had identified themselves as unlucky missed both of these ads. The lucky people would flip through and laugh and say, "Ha, there's 43 photos. That's what it says. Do you want me to continue counting?" When told to continue, they'd flip through some more and say, "Hey, do I get my £150? In other words, the people who believed that they were lucky experienced greater success because the lucky filter in their minds alerted them to notice and seize the opportunity in front of them. Most interesting of all, whether or not a person considers themselves to be lucky appears to be the critical factor in the extent to which they benefit from these perceptual filters. At the end of this chapter, I will help you install a luck filter. So, again, it's a little audio or something that he has, that when you purchase this book, that you get a card and then you log into Hay House and then you can get this download. So, and man, I tell you, I'm going to be doing this. So luck was not something, it wasn't that I know for myself when I look at my life, it wasn't that I felt that I was unlucky, but I didn't feel like I was lucky. I never really actually thought about it. And if I actually was, maybe, I guess as I'm saying that, I'm like, I probably was a little bit under the middle scale, like say a 50% is sort of neutral. I probably was a little more, no, like that wouldn't work out for me. So what I find is really interesting is that, I've been talking on shows about how I, found that fig tree for my girlfriend, by following my intuition. And I know for myself that over the past few years, I'm not sure, like, there's a family that I know, and they're very generous with giving their kids gifts. And sometimes I'd be invited, and so I'd go to bring something, and I'd be like, oh, I'd kind of have the thought like, well, they buy everything for their kids. What am I going to get them? And then I decided at some point in time that I was going to have the idea that I was always going to know what would be a gift that would create greater. And, to that day, to this day, that is the case. Like when I follow my intuition, as crazy as it is, even when it's buying something for a girlfriend whose mom's passed away and getting her something like, a fig tree that I didn't even know that they grew fig trees here. And then here I find out that her mom grew fig trees in Switzerland and I'd never met her mom. You know, just that kind of thing. Like the universe has your back, but it sounds like too from what he's saying here is that when you believe in an area of your life that you're lucky, or where you allow yourself to believe that you're lucky, you actually continue to expand on that, create it, and outcreate it. And so it was really neat because I actually, when I was looking at this last night or this morning, I was like, I don't have that with regards to my body and having like ease with, health, or ease with even knowing that I'm going to come across something that's going to create more for me. Like I've noticed with my health journey, it's not like just acupuncture has been great, or just access bars, or just essential oils, or just taking an Advil, or just a medication, or just having a massage. Like I find that, it's something different all around. Like last week I did go for an acupuncture appointment. I will be going again this week. But then I've also been doing EFT, and I've been doing EMDR, and I've been doing meditating. And I'm choosing it too as much more of a fun journey as opposed to something like to try and get it right. I also was really aware that in my world that there was an energy of suffering that was almost like that's okay, like that's in my world, but not even realizing. And I can see that I picked that up from others. There's been a lot of unwellness, a lot of illness in some of my family members, and so I can see with me just being a kid and being around these people and picking up on it. Like you don't even know that you pick up on it, just like we pick up on money beliefs and attitudes about the weather and stuff from the people around us. And when we don't know to question things, we just end up in training to them. We just end up taking them on. We want to fit in. We want to belong. Yeah, especially when we don't know to question things. So anyways, really looking at, what would that look like? Like that I'm just so incredibly lucky in all the areas of my life. And I just wonder how much more I can I'm really actually going to play with that today. That is something I'm going to look a little bit more in, is what would luck look like in the area of health that I can ask for. And so what area in your life would you like to have more luck with, or even just let's go general, like, and that's what I'm even getting for myself. And I'm also getting to just acknowledge, like, when it comes to gifts and stuff like that, that is something I do have a capacity for. Well, what if it's even maybe not so much of a capacity, but it was something I asked for, and so the universe is like, okay. And so then it became a capacity. But what if I could have that capacity to have that luck, that quote unquote luck, in all areas of my life? I like it. I like it, people. I really, really do. I really do. Now, again, like the thing that's popping to just sort of add to that again is that I wasn't a person before, like, even though I could be a very uplifting, positive person to other people, I did struggle more with it with myself. I didn't have that self-resilience in that way. So it took me a while to actually believe that I could actually have luck or say good things happen to me. And I really get now that I'm actually willing, even more than I was before, to allow myself to receive quote unquote luck with my health, with my body, with my wellness. And to have a vibrancy in my body and a high energy and, ease. And you know what? Even to not have it necessarily be an end result, well, where like it's a 100% complete and total healing, but that I have an ease and a playfulness and a fun and with the body that I have now. Like, could you imagine even that? Because I have even noticed with myself that it's like, well, if this massage wasn't the answer, this acupuncture wasn't the answer, then maybe I shouldn't have done it. Whereas what if it was all part of the journey? And when I look at it, like even when oh gosh, I didn't tell you guys about the MRI story where I met this amazing lady. So I went for an MRI and, I'm going to have to tell you guys about this on tomorrow's show. So after my mini card reading, I will tell you guys about it because it was such a cool story. It just really was. And it's got me, it's invited me to see where luck, magical situations, the universe surprising and delighting me is showing up in my life more and more. And that in recognizing it, acknowledging and asking for more creates more of it. So on that note, you guys, I wish you a wonderful, magical, lucky day. Whether you get lucky or not, but you can get lucky. You can get lucky getting lucky. Okay.